Hello and welcome once again. It's round 15 of Realm of Racing, and we're here tonight at Imola, a magnificent track, probably my favorite circuit to drive any car sim on, honestly, but one that's seen some of the lowest points in the sport. We know about the weekend that tragically took the life of Roland Ratzenberger and the all-time great Anton Senna. Track has been altered a little bit since that time with the add-ins of a chicane and Tamburella, but either way, we're here for some racing tonight, and I'm super excited. If you can't tell, with me as always, my man Hunter. How are you feeling?
Man, I mean, you said it best. Out of tracks that are the absolute best on literally any sim, Imola is up there, man. Imola and Suzuka, I think, are the two best tracks, just in sim racing in general. It's
Yeah,
hard not to throw Spa in there, but personally, I think Imola and Suzuka both take the cake in terms of the challenge, just everything about this track. You just feel the history when you're driving it too. And we've got a great grid, a great race ahead of us. It's looking a little cloudy out. We don't know what the weather's going to be like for the race, but as it stands, obviously, we're getting a dry qualification. Tails already taking a early pole position.
Yeah, times are starting to come in. Canadian had the pole, but Tails already snatched it away by 3/100ths of a second.
And now that we're doing a track that I have a lot of experience on, I can obviously say we should be expecting low 14s, mid to mid 14s for pole position here. Yeah, probably. I think my last time league racing this track, which was actually I think like 2 weeks ago, I do think pole was around a 14-1, maybe even a high 13. So kind of be expecting something around there as the track evolves. They're in the 15s right now for the most part. But yeah, I expect some of the faster.
Bio is on for a good lap here as well. Oh no, just a little bit shy though. He kind of ran a little bit wide on the last corner though.
Yeah, I'm actually
had a good middle sector.
Routine was actually getting he goes super wide for the last quarter. Routine was actually getting held up quite a bit. It almost looked like by Thunder, but he hops into P6 ahead of Thunder with a 15.8. See, is anybody else on a lap right now?
I believe a new face, Nander, just finished one, but in P8 at the moment, at 1:16.6.
Right, not too shabby from the new face. I'm sure he'll be wanting to improve on that. Did anybody put in? Let me just quickly check. Okay, so those were all on softs except for Underrated. Underrated did that 16.9 on the mediums.
TC just started his hot lap right now.
Ooh, I think I just witnessed a little incident. It looked like J-Mick might have been on a lap. I know I see his time has popped up already, but not too sure. Maybe just a little bit of a misunderstanding. But the two McLarens, 5th and 7th right now. Oh, Routine almost losing it on what I think is his cooldown.
Yeah, I seen that. I happened to catch that because he was just off the track, letting a car by. I don't know if he still had a little bit of debris on the tires or not, but
watching Total Carney. Total Carney definitely on a heater. Woo! I love that turn so much. I forget the turn number, but that double right-hander, that's the first one swooping downward and then the second one's going upward. It's so technical, and you have to be so careful on the power. It's a beautiful turn. Going into the last two corners, it's a double left, and it's very satisfying to hit this corner correctly. See what TC is
easy to run wide downhill right there. You're carrying so much speed on that downhill.
Right, and you're trying to obviously keep it on the limit, and yeah, it's real easy to overdo it right there, and it's that much more painful because you're so close to the finish line. But yeah, TC putting in a 15.5, just about a half-tenth behind Groovy in 4th place.
Like the only one I see at the moment.
I think he's okay. Yeah, I think a lot of the boys are heading into the pits this round.
I think Jor is on a lap at the moment. That's the only one I noticed.
There is.
Oh, and he just invalidated right then as I said that.
Right when I
of
got
course.
onto him, yeah, he invalidated. Let's see, I think Vapor's heading into a fast lap, but not quite there. Gelfie, unfortunately, with a quali ban after last race's incident, Nat Hammer picking up a race ban. So hopefully, obviously, those two boys can come back and provide us some good racing. We know those two guys are good racers, clean racers. Just a little bit of anger's boiling over. Nothing more than that, but yeah. We'll
Which
see.
can happen in racing,
Oh
obviously.
yeah,
Some
and
things are unacceptable, but obviously it's very easy to lose your cool.
oh yeah,
And
no, most definitely. I mean, I am one to definitely admit that I've had that happen several times. So, you know, I can't blame him and be a hypocrite, but obviously the stewards did have to take action. Is it raining?
there is sprinkles coming onto the track right now. So looks like who got their times in early. Some of these boys don't even have times in yet.
So this happened to me this weekend at, oh my gosh, I'm blinking on the track right now. Brazil. This happened at Brazil, and it just started downpouring about. It was earlier than they're getting the rain. Luckily, a lot of people got laps in. But it looks like we've got a retirement. Our Nander just knows he's not going to improve for the rest of the session.
Yeah, I believe he was in the pits when he did that.
Rain came in, and it was about 2 or 3 minutes into the session. It was completely dry. It didn't say it was going to rain on our little, TV laptop
little weather
screen.
map.
And it just starts pouring down 3 minutes into qualifying, and I had no chance. And it started in the back of the field. It's just the luck of the draw sometimes.
You can see that it's minor, but it is already affecting. I was on board with David, who's on the medium tires too, and
he's just
struggling horrible, but just not hooking up a good lap.
I was actually on board with him as well. I saw him going through the chicane, and yeah, he got very squirrely.
Yeah,
tails going wide there, not looking like he's improving.
Yeah, it looks like a few of these boys are starting to retire now.
Yeah, so it definitely will probably end our qualifying session early. I think these spots are going to be locked in, and that's something to say. I mean, the guy with the quali ban not going to be starting in last place. So rather fortunate for Gelfie that he doesn't actually technically have to start in last place. I don't think he will start in last. Unless West Echo and Vapor can quickly get out there, which they obviously can. They just have to put in any time. But
yeah, exactly. Just throw on some intermediates if they are trying to get a tie, because there is still 7 minutes. I do believe that it won't go away. Maybe if everyone retires, but we will see. Might have some space to have to fill.
Yeah, and Azure has been disqualified from the session. It won't matter because obviously the times will not be improving. These guys will probably be in the 119s, the 120s, especially if these aren't soft tire conditions. It does like to be coming down kind of hard. So yeah, these times shouldn't be quick. I'm interested to see if Canadian actually crosses the finish line. He doesn't.
That's what I was just wondering too, if he was going to or not. But
yeah, everybody
tries to bring it into the pits.
TC still on track. I would imagine, yeah, just all these guys are going to realize they can't improve, and they're going to come in.
Yeah, so if Rain decided to roll in for this qualifying, have no idea what the race has in store, but a little touch of rain would not be opposed to that.
Oh yeah, a little touch of rain can't hurt. Something else to mention, our championship leaders, 8th and 5th, so David in 8th place right now, and TC in 5th. They're gonna, well, no. See, now do they start on first tires? Or do they start on their, they're gonna start on softs. I believe they will start on the softs.
But David did his time on medium tires, I believe.
He did, you're right.
Yes,
he did.
Yeah, he did.
That is
So a
It's
little
gonna
bit
make
of
things really interesting.
different strategies going on here, and we'll see because we've seen these guys
Now the
a
thing,
few times. They normally come.
I gotta mention
They
this.
normally find themselves on the track.
I gotta mention this. The strategies are hard soft. You can do a hard soft. So he's now it's David Chahoud we're talking about. My gut's telling me this man's gonna try to do a medium to soft.
Potentially medium soft.
Now I did a hard to soft. This weekend I started in the back of the grid. I did a hard to soft. It worked really well for me. I started very last, and I came back to get a podium. So that hard to soft's a very good strategy. Now I'm wondering, I don't think that medium hard is as good of a strategy, obviously. But if he's able to somehow maybe squeak some safety cars, keep those tires alive, you might see a medium to soft from him. Which I would love to see. I want to see if it's
keep
possible.
some tires alive for a long time.
Right.
But yeah, I'm interested to see that as well.
No, I would love to see if that's possible. Kind of like just one of those things where later in the game, as the game, builds up in lifespan, you obviously start to realize that certain things work that you didn't realize earlier in the game worked. Oh, it was. I remember a good example from 2020 was USA. The strategy for most of the year was a hard to soft. Until people were like, you can actually make these mediums last. Ooh, do we have an off? Yes, West
Yeah,
Echo.
moment from West Echo. Took a lot of the curb on the first chicane there and went around. But go on, though.
Yeah, see, it just makes it so...
Yeah, you learn things as you go along.
Right.
Being able to figure out if you can manage it a little bit different, perhaps.
And I mean, who knows? He might end up getting a puncture, but I feel like David's the type of guy who he's explorative. he's more.
We've seen him. I believe that one. I can't remember where it was, but I believe he made the mediums go almost 30 laps, if I'm not wrong. It could have been, yeah.
Where he made the mediums last basically the entire race. I think he went in like 5 or 6 laps.
Yeah, he didn't have to pit. He almost pulled a race where he didn't have to pit. He wouldn't.
Oh no, he would have stayed out there the whole race. Wait, how? Okay, I don't know if this is real, but West Echo has a purple sector. Surely that can't be real. But I have the feeling the next session is going to be dry if none of the boys are out here getting in practice. Because I feel like if it was going to be wet, a lot of these guys would be out here, getting this practice in the wet. But we will see what happens. So yeah, just kind of waiting out this last 2 minutes of the session. Say a couple guys still just want to put in some practice laps. Vapor obviously hasn't put in a lap. So, let's see what happens here. You're going to need to put in a valid lap. Put in a couple invalids in a row.
My apologies there.
Oh, no worries. We're just waiting out this quali. A couple of the guys just wanted to put in some laps.
Yeah, I couldn't help but notice Wes definitely getting a little squirrely and stuff coming around.
And Vapor, he invalidates again. See, he has 40 seconds to get back to the line. To try this one more time, and I think he's gonna retire. I think he's giving up.
He does. There's only 2 runners left in this qualifying session right now. J-Mick and West Echo at the moment.
Right. So yeah, only 2 runners. Let's see if they decide to Retire. They're
I
both in
guess
the
there
pit,
is
so they
only
probably
20
should.
seconds
Right. It
left
really
now. They
doesn't.
decided to
It
wait.
doesn't matter at this point. So.
Yeah, so it looks like Gelfie. I think you're correct, though. Yeah, he will not be starting the last because Azure has disqualified from at least qualifying. So
Yeah, and Vapor is still in front of or behind him. So yeah, he won't be starting this race last, which is good for Gelfie. I was way off
yes,
on those times. West Echo did a 1:38. I don't know if that's completely representative, but yeah, 18
no,
seconds, a lot of time.
yeah, no, not a whole lot of not a whole lot of runs out there on the softer compounds for sure. Rain decided to come in a hurry, but now I'm super curious to know if the race is going to be a dry race or not. But
Yeah, I almost like hold on. Screw it. Let's do it. Let's just ask the boys if it's gonna be wet or dry.
well, I mean, they know in real life, they have
Okay, so
radar.
yeah, it's gonna be dry per the information of Groupie. So, dry session coming. Fine with me. Should be some good racing. Also, hopefully we don't get any glitches.
We will definitely hope on that one.
Like, this game is enjoyable enough to make me forget about it, and then boom, smacks me in the face.
Mm-hmm. It really does sometimes where they're almost overwhelming when they do happen. Looks like the boys are
So we're waiting for the grid to be set up.
And somebody has went ahead and started up as they get their setups and strategies aligned. We will see what is going to happen. Yep, super excited for this one for sure.
No, I'm so excited. Like we said, dude, you said it's one of your favorites, and it's easily.
It really is.
On this game, it's right there for me with Hungary as like my favorite track on the calendar. So damn close. Get this formation done. Hurry up.
And they start in a hurry. Yeah, so no, big run down here into this turn one here.
Oh, and
See
it's a
what
new
happens.
track too, so hopefully we get the benefit of decent camera angles.
Yeah, a little updated for sure,
Right.
hopefully.
Because we did notice Portimao by far had the best
Oh yeah, some of them are
camera
beautiful.
angles. Yeah, like that up top shot with going through the hills. I love that. But
Yes,
yeah, so our grid, I
Tails and
didn't.
Canadian.
Guess I didn't go over the grid, but our grid for this race is Hales on pole. I don't know how many poles he's had now. It's been a lot. Canadian in second, Bio in third, Ruby in fourth, TC in fifth, J-Mick in sixth, Routine in seventh, David, the championship leader, in eighth, Thunder in ninth, Nander, the new face, in 10th, Tito in 11th, most underrated in 12th. Still getting used to the game, doing pretty well. P12 is a good place for him to be to gain some positions. Blood Gustavo, the returning face, in the Haas, P13. West Echo, P14. Asset Masters, P15. Gelfie with the quali band, P16. Got some time to make up. I'm going to try to keep an eye on him throughout the race.
Tails runs wide on the formation. He's in the dirt. He gets passed up by Canadian there.
New tire warming methods. Not Sir Vapor in 17th, and Azure in dead last place. Newly minted in the Williams. It's his first race with Groovy as his teammates. Milky had to make a departure. Rua also had to make a departure. So Williams is now Groovy and Azure.
Yeah, old teammates from
Right.
before.
Right, they were teammates in effectively what was the first season of ROR, although it wasn't called ROR. So, yeah, no, they've got some history, that is for sure.
No, we've got an upgraded name for sure.
And we'll see if maybe they change it from this behind view.
I was gonna say maybe a little bit. I might have to go on board for this one because. Oh no, here it goes.
Oh, there
to
we
the front now.
All right, lights are building.
And the revs are rising, and they are out, and no glitch this time.
For once, Canadian is going side by side. He's taking the lead already.
As well.
TC.
Bio sticking his nose in there.
Oh, there's too much to watch. Do we get through the first turns cleanly? No, Alfa Romeo is round. That's the championship leader.
So David has already fell back. J-Mick is side by side, trying to get by Bio.
It looks like we calmed down somehow. A little bit. Oh, the McLaren's going on the inside. He's going to get Routine. Oh! No, Routine gets the better exit. This is great battling. Tails has also got the lead back
Tails
from Canadian.
Already got back. Canadian is trying to dip and dive. Let's see. He's right on his gearbox again. Can he get by here? No, they're starting to get single file now.
Bio taking probably the safer option of just chilling behind these guys because they are going to battle to the death. These guys love racing each other. They've got very, very similar pace, and it'll be very interesting to see, can Bio keep up with that pace? Can Groovy keep up with that pace? And also, can TC stay in this? Because right at the moment, obviously it's only been a lap, but they're all within a second of each other.
Oh, for sure.
Down to P15.
No, you were right. It was almost hard to keep track. There was so much going on, side-by-side action all over the place, cars going everywhere, but now they're all starting to kind of single file now and get a line.
And Routine. Little do you know how big some of these moves on the first lap will be. Routine now building a little bit of a gap to J-Mick, where J-Mick was just last lap diving down the inside.
A little bit of a moment there for J-Mick behind him there.
Saw that. I was on board with Nander, who I mean got a fresh look at that squirrely moment from J-Mick.
Getting a little wiggle. Yeah, so Tails already starting to gain almost 0.6 of a second gap, 0.7 roughly.
Yeah, major factor of this race will definitely be, do these guys, tire management's going to be huge, obviously. Do these guys know the correct strategy? The Ferrari's just had a moment, I think. I don't know how he didn't lose the position to J-Mick, but obviously J-Mick's right on the back of him now. But he got super squirrely. I saw it from somebody else's angle. He was nearly round. So yeah, it actually looks like
is enabled now.
We were talking about this earlier. Look at Bio and Groovy. Bio has lost. It's not DRS yet, but I think it's been activated this lap. But he has lost DRS to the leaders, and he's already under threat to Groovy and maybe later on possibly TC. So Bio needs to get a move on. If he's he's gone wide. That might open
wide. Yeah, Groovy already gets around him.
No resistance there. He got way too wide out of the previous corner and couldn't defend. Groovy just easily going around the outside. When it looks that easy to go around the outside, you've done something wrong. So yeah, Bio making a mistake there early on. Oh, Canadian spun! Canadian spun!
And he's around. Oh, can he save the car? He spins it back around.
That's amazing car control. That's amazing car control.
It really was.
He spun that so tightly as to not even come near the racing line.
With cars coming at him, that was a very bold move. But yeah, you're correct. Such confidence in his car that he gets back going. How far did he fall? He falls right back beside David.
Right. And now Tails has 2 seconds of free air. I mean, I
didn't even see how that happened. I'm not sure, but
yeah, this is going to be very interesting in terms of the championship battle. David already, obviously, quite a ways back from the lead. Canadian just possibly, I think, yeah, Vapor might have just had a moment because Canadian and David both getting by him. at Tamburello. At a legendary track like this, I mean, how could you not? These turn names are just, I mean, beautiful. Releasing. It looks like somebody's already about to get lapped. Acid Masters must have had several incidents because he is already about to get lapped. The leader Tails about to come up on him shortly. He's actually in view of Acid Master. Acid Master's getting very squirrely. He's on the hards right now. Oh, he just must not be focusing right now. He's taking the grass. That's not the line.
No, that is not the best way around.
He's drifting out almost every corner. Just can't really get a hold of these hards.
Yeah, and he's got quite a pack coming on him in a hurry, though, for sure.
Closed in just a tiny bit. Still about 7/10 back. I don't think that's quite close enough, but it's enough to give Groovy to think about and possibly have to burn ERS to keep him behind. He's gonna... Ooh, he thinks about it. He thinks about diving down the inside. He stays back, though. The front routines round! Routine is spun!
Routine!
I think somebody else, too!
Does not touch the wall.
Who else is that?
Acid Masters in the dirt already. You know, because I was on board with Acid. I was just about to mention him, and then I seen Routine's car come flying through the dirt. He did not touch the wall, though, it looks like.
So hopefully, yeah, keeping it damageless, but obviously losing tons of time to that incident. And I think he's just spun again. I think he's just spun again. Those tires on fire. Yeah, he's gone off again. Here comes the Haas.
Oh, and here comes the Haas.
He gets out of the way. I think he got tapped. I think he got tapped.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunate for Routine. Yeah, it's just
the
blunder to blunder. Once you spin, it's very hard. Oh, the Red Bulls down Badajour. I can't believe I actually just said his name. I told him I wouldn't ever call him by that name. Azure V6 getting overtaken by Canadian very aggressively out of the chicane, but a beautiful overtake by Canadian. So Canadian up to 10th place. Now has West Echo ahead of him, and also Gelfie, who started near the back of the field, and he's already into P7 now, who
looks like
Nander had to pit for some reason. Maybe going for a super undercut, but more than likely this early. I think it's damage.
And they're side by side, the Red Bull and the Alpha Terry, and it looks like, he does make the move. Stick Canadian, so working his way back up the grid.
I haven't even looked at the position changes. Yeah, Gelfie, the biggest winner so far, up 9 positions. Azure up 8, and Vapor up 5. So some of these boys, they're starting to get up the grid. Gelfie really rendering that incident to that quali ban useless, because he's only about 5 or 6 seconds behind his teammate, who obviously qualified P5, I think. And he's kind of total carnage in P4. So if he can catch up and maybe dispatch Tito and J-Mick quickly, then he could be in for one. But look at this. Canadian is right on the back. He is right on the back of Gelfie. If Gelfie's smart, he'll let him go. Gelfie on the medium tires right now, and Canadian on the softs. Just let him go. Continue your race. It's all about the race time.
Yeah, look, and Canadian getting a little squirrely. He is super close on there, getting so much dirty air. Moves out to the side once again with the DRS. Looks like he should make it work.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, Gelfie smartly. And they get back by Routine, who comes back out. And I also noticed when it rains, it pours. Routine picked up a 5-second speeding penalty in the pits.
West Echo just picked up a 3-second penalty. So the closest battle, is still the battle for P2 and 3 between Bio and Groovy. TC has kind of dropped back. He's about 1.5 seconds behind these boys. But maybe just playing it smart. Trying to keep these tires alive. Maybe not pushing his hardest at the moment. But we will see when these strategies start to collide. It looks like J-Mix had it off.
J-Mix does go around. Gets back going on track.
Double right-hander, that infamous corner. Very easy to get wrong. And Tito's in P5.
Yeah, all the way up to P5, doing a very nice job in the Haas.
Yeah, just keeping it steady, just keeping it on the track, in between the white lines.
Bio is dipping to the inside here. Is he gonna be able to make it?
Yes, he does.
Does go around. So
It's
DRS
done.
seems to be super strong here. He was 0.4 of a second back
I
when
mentioned that to the
activated
guys earlier.
DRS.
Some of the boys were saying it was hard to overtake here, and I completely disagreed. You don't have to have much of a pace advantage to overtake here. As long as you can get those last 2 corners right, that DRS will carry you so far. And if you even so much as touch that ERS, you are a rocket ship. So, there's a yellow flag. I believe it's the Haas. It's been an incident.
I am not gonna lie, my telemetry just went a little haywire there, and it's just disappearing.
Oh, Aftermaster's DNF'd in the pits. Yeah, that happens to me sometimes as well. It usually fixes itself once they either pass the finish line or whatever sector line. Another yellow flag. Who is this one for? It doesn't look like any stopped cars. I think we're fine. But Bio now going to be under pressure. Let's see if Groovy goes for the move here. He's gaining so quickly. Look at this.
So much.
Doesn't even need to fret at all. He's going to be ahead well before the braking zone. So
I forgot to look at the time before that.
And look at this. Canadian just overtook Tito into turn 1 to take P5.
Yeah, so he is on a Lewis Hamilton type drive. Already driving back up to P5 right here. Wow.
Yeah, David up to P10, but remember he is obviously on mediums. But the other thing is it's not super worn, but I did see he did, I believe, 2 laps on those mediums, so they are worn technically as he came in. So I mean, some of these guys that like Gelfie that got to start on fresher mediums do actually have an advantage over him. And he's getting held up right now by West Echo, who is on the softs right now. Oh, he's getting very squirrely. West Echo.
I missed that.
Oh, most underrated
now coming because he just got by Not Sir Vapor not too long ago.
No, he's not going to be able to get the move done, but yeah, the West Echo holding a few people up actually. Vapor also in this pack. It's a 4-person pack now.
Yeah, it looks like underrated just looking for a little bit of a see the corner, trying to dip out. Maybe to see his braking zone.
It's so hard to overtake here in a DRS train. So for people like Most Underrated, he is not in the ideal position. But here comes David. David's going to get this move done, I think, rather easily, given the most amount of space. Here comes Underrated.
Getting Underrated, dip in there too.
Echo's going to break later. Outside. And he keeps the position.
And minor contact, but good race in that moment.
Underrated picks up a penalty in that pursuit as well. I actually didn't see him go off track, but...
Well, I think he had a... I don't know if he tapped... Or Vapor maybe tapped him or not. But a good save not to wreck both cars there.
Right.
Good basic action.
Very easily could have continued to turn in, and it would have been a pit maneuver on West Echo. So good job to keep his race going. But yeah, West Echo has 9 seconds of penalties.
Reminiscent of the real life Imola this year, and that Red Bull holding the line there. But
here comes TC and Bio. Look at TC and Bio. They're side by side going into the final corner. TC squeezing them to the oh! He gets squeezed off track a little bit. And here comes
Bio
TC. So TC now in P3, but Bio's obviously going to have the DRS, and that's a ballsy move from TC to do that move.
Oh, Bio does not have no rear wing open right now.
Oh, maybe he doesn't realize it, but he should have had DRS. One of them had to have DRS.
That's what I was just about to say, because neither one of them had the rear wing. That was very interesting.
Odd. They were like they were siding with him, but they just gave it to neither. They said y'all were side by side in this direction. I'm gonna have to try to lap 11. I'm gonna have to try to go back and look at that.
Yeah, maybe a minor contact, but definitely hard racing out there from the boys, and they're getting it done. TC now holding a little bit of a gap here, 0.6. 0.7 roughly.
Another driver's title battle that we have to mention. Tails and Groovy. Tails is beating Groovy right now by just 7 points. And it's going to increase this race, obviously, if Groovy cannot catch up. And Groovy also has a penalty. So Groovy looking like if he can't build either a gap to TC or possibly somehow overtake Tails, who is miles up the road, then he will possibly drop down the order after this race is done. But TC and Bio choose to go into the pits on lap 12.
Tito's going to follow them in. Gelfie going to stay out on his mediums. Obviously not going to pit right behind his teammate.
Right. And you know,
So Gelfie up
those... Let me go on board with Tito real quick. Those Haas uniforms are so nice. Those blue uniforms. So nice. I love those. The pit uniform. One of the best pit uniforms out there, for sure. Other than, you know, the... Oh, what's the artist? Is it
I
Daft
like the
Punk?
Merc, too.
Yeah, the Daft Punk helmet that Merc does, basically.
Yeah.
I love the Mercs as well, the blue one. But TC comes out in P8. Let's take a look at the tires really quick. He puts on the hards. Most underrated, David, down bad Azure, Gelfie, all on the mediums. And they have obviously taken these upper leaderboard spots because of the pitters. But Groovy and Tails deciding... Oh, here comes Tails into the pits. We'll see what Groovy decides to do.
So TC is the first runner on fresh tires. I'm not sure what the gap was to Tails and them.
We'll see if TC... I can't imagine TC is going to be close enough to get this undercut.
I don't believe so.
He's still just now ending... He just ended the third sector. Or the second sector, I mean. We'll see. Let's check in back with Groovy. Groovy's exiting his pit box now. And he puts on mediums.
Tails is going to come back out. And
Tails also put on medium.
Tails and Groovy both put on medium, so they planned on running this
Total
to the
Carney.
end.
So Groovy's exiting the pits now. I think he's going to be able to hold this position just barely. And he's also going to have a tire advantage for this first. That might be the smart move just because of track position. They're going to... Groovy, with his pace, should be able to build a small gap once his tires warm up. And it will be big enough to hold off the hard tires of TC. We'll obviously see if that is true, but that's what I think might happen.
Pull down the standings.
Oh my gosh. I've done that 2 races in a row.
I have to put a timer on it.
You can give myself an alarm.
But yeah, it should be interesting here. So Gelfie and Azure and David, most underrated too, all sticking out a little bit longer, not going to pit yet.
If these medium runners want to make the softs last, they need to go at least 6 more laps. We need to make it to lap 20. We saw the boys on used softs make it to lap 12. Oh, VSC.
Virtual safety car because Nander and a Red Bull. I'm not sure how this has happened, but a Red Bull was spinning around here now. I'm not even sure. West Echo.
I think he's No, he hasn't DNF'd. He's kept the engine running, but looks like a pretty bad incident. They were both pretty backed up in the end. Nander DNFing, unfortunately, because of that.
Oh, yeah. West Echo has no front wing out.
And that's a full safety now, yeah. So this changes everything. Gelfie, Azure, David, and underrated have a choice to make.
Whew.
Now, if they go in and put the hards on, they can keep. Underrated can't keep track position.
I don't believe underrated would, because Tails is going to pass them.
Actually, yeah, Tails is quite close to this group now, but they can come out ahead of Groovy. Oh yeah, Groovy's 10 seconds, but okay, yeah. So that's what I meant to say. They would still come out ahead of him. So yeah, I would go for it. They would have to put on hards though. Obviously, softs are not going to make it, and looks like Azure and
Gelfie does,
and David.
And he gets a speeding penalty though.
Oh, and here comes underrated into the pits as well. So yeah, Tails makes the pass. Groovy actually is going to be okay. Okay, no, we were wrong. We were wrong. They are going to be okay. They are going to make it through. Yep, okay. So TC gets past. Canadian also gets past. Bio gets past. Gelfie's going to come out in P7 behind Tito. Jor in P8, David P9 now on the hards. And we mentioned this earlier because David was probably going to go for that medium to soft, but now sometimes safety cars just don't come out when you want them to. And that's probably a situation of it actually being, if it was just a different track or a different strategy, that would have been a perfect time. Because usually the time when you can make up the most positions is when the safety car comes out right after a wave of pit stops. That is usually when when one group of guys gets screwed over and one group of guys gets pushed up the grid.
Yeah, and it's normally just the luck of the draw. You're not sure when it's going to come.
Out of your control, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is more of a situation where it's not making as big of a difference just because that pit lane's a little bit longer. And they're not quite far enough into the race. Like, say they could put on softs right now, then this would be a completely different race.
Yeah, we will see, because...
Or if you could have just...
We could see more of these
softs to now, then you've obviously gained a huge advantage. But sorry, go on. I didn't cut you off.
No, I was just saying, like always, though, we potentially could see more now that the group is all bunched up again here.
Right, Canadian back up to P4. That's huge.
Yeah, what a drive from him. Falling back down the grid, coming back up.
Yeah, he got mad at me last race because I missed one of his overtakes. I think I've definitely missed a couple of them again today, so apologies to Canadian. But Canadian, I believe, is actually making his permanent return to ROR, and that is amazing to see. We love to see, you know, Canadian is such a pacey driver, so quick. So yeah, we love to see guys like this in the league. But yeah, no, amazing drive from him today. So Bio right on the back of him on hards. P5, Tito doing a very good job. Also hitting under that safety car. But just before the safety car, and he is in P6. Gelfie, Azure, David, and underrated on those fresh hards now. Vapor on pretty fresh. Basically the hardest tires are Gustavo. In 13th on 7-lap old mediums. Those are the oldest tires on the grid right now. So we should have some pretty racy boys out there.
I was gonna say, yeah, everybody should be racing around here. Looks like just one car now, routine, about to catch the back of the queue. So I'm not sure if they will bring it in this lap or not. I would imagine so, but... So we're just under halfway through, and yeah, safety car is coming in this lap. And we've seen this same scenario many times already this year. Tails in first, Groovy in second, safety car coming in. The mind games are going to come into play here. When is he going to bolt? And it looks like he takes off already. Yep, he dips right around the last corner. Gets a good run. Groovy falls back just a little bit. And there's already a caution.
Yeah, what's happened here? I don't know. Okay, so I think all the cars are still moving, so we're good. But yeah, that was a little bit interesting. But Tails, a pretty good restart. Almost getting a second gap.
Yeah, I believe, he did the right thing right around the last corner while everyone was still taking it. He just bolted and definitely got the jump.
Oh, West Echo needs to get out of the way here. He surely is facing blue flags.
So looks like everybody's still kind of single filing right now. I see TC kind of dipping back and forth on the back of Canadian, but Canadian's still holding steady right now.
Yeah, for the most part, I mean, West Echo is separating this grid right now, and yeah, he gets a penalty for ignoring blue flags. He still hasn't gotten out the way. He needs to get out the way.
Yeah, I did not realize.
No!
No! And he
oh man, that's exactly what I did not want to happen, man.
And a huge accident there. So unfortunate for TC now, and he's going to have to come into the pits. Oh no, wrong place, wrong time. To let everyone by right there. Definitely a little bit of a spin for West and collects TC. And
man, that is exactly what I did not want to happen.
Just
for a back marker to get in the way of championship points.
Yeah, he was in for a very good finish right now. David still running in P7. But now TC is going to have to see if he can limit this damage now. Can he get back into the points?
Oh man, and I just feel for him. I feel for the driver.
Yeah, my heart sunk.
This might help.
I'm not gonna lie,
a bit, but that's just
my heart sunk. It felt like I almost felt like it was my race kind of for a second there, like it happened to me. But super important. And Necktie picks up a speeding penalty. He tries to dip into the pits. He picks up a 5-second penalty as Bio goes into the pits too here. So Tails, Groovy, Tito staying out, and David, an underrated top 5. As I'm not sure what actually brung out this safety car here. I do see that Blood Gustavo has retired though.
Oh man. Man, oh man. So TC in 12th, but able to, I believe it was just a straight on hit, so shouldn't have any extra damage from that other than obviously just the wing that he was able to replace. So on fresh mediums.
Yeah, him and his teammate are one position in between them, Vapor. Maybe they can dispatch a couple of these cars and work together and get him back into a
so everybody
nice
behind
finish.
P7 choosing to pit under that safety car. Canadian, Bio, and Azure putting on softs, and they could be very, very dangerous.
Yeah, I'm sure Canadian is super upset at himself for picking up that speeding penalty into the pits. Could be crucial towards the end. As they decided, I did not notice they decided to throw on the softs here.
Right. Yeah, and they can make it. The safety car will probably be out until lap 20 or 21. So
yeah, we 12 laps.
We saw used softs make it 12 laps. So they should be fine. They should make it.
Yeah, they will definitely be super racy too at the beginning of this safety car. Yeah, super painful. I still feel for the man TC here. That was super painful to watch, but he will have to put his head down now and see what he can do, as he's already almost... Somehow they got by Vapor there. I'm not exactly sure how that happened, but if he can do this, he's making places up under safety car already, so...
Oh man. I'm trying to like I'm trying to not like I'm really trying to not say anything that is bad, but that's just it's very angry. But the show must go on. TC knows that. And Vapor decided to pit, so he did get
Oh, I did. Okay,
so
that's
right
why.
Behind his teammate now. Don't
Yeah, so
think
the
we're
safety
coming
car
in.
will probably...
Oh,
No,
yes,
it's...
we
Oh,
are.
it is going to
That's
come in.
so
Okay.
late.
Very late. So Tails cannot bolt like he did
No.
last time.
That's so
So he's going
late.
to wait now. He
Groovy.
might wait all the way to the line here.
This also makes the boys kind of panic. Groovy's just trying desperately to get warmth into his tires. They probably were just weren't
they are
expecting
spread
it.
out almost 4 wide in the back. Here comes around TC. He's already all the way at the P7 around Canadian.
And here comes TC
Amazing
on
move.
an absolute charge. He has J-Mick now ahead of him. But here comes Canadian right behind him. He's still challenging. Here comes Canadian side by side. He's on the
He
softs.
might dip down to the inside. Okay,
No,
he backs out of it.
Goes back in here. Oh, there's some.
And they have a McLaren in front of him here.
J-Mick has gone wide. He's going to lose the position.
The same thing.
Oh, the AlphaTauri's going to try to go as well. They're 3 wide. Canadian comes out on top. They're side by side still.
They're still side by side coming through. Canadian's going to hold the inside line here and make the move stick this time.
TC. Oh, here comes the McLaren. Here comes the McLaren.
And now TC and them tap.
No!
They touch again. TC
He keeps it together. He keeps
it.
it together. But he's losing positions. He gets swallowed down to P10. That's right where he started.
Oh, man. So him and J-Mick come together. He timed the safety car restart. It's perfect there. And made up. Dispatched about 3 cars right away. And now, like you mentioned, he's already back in the same position now.
And here, Canadian, like I said, these soft runners, they're going to be so much grippier through a lot of these turns. Canadian's the leader of the softs. Bio now getting past J-Mick, and it's now 2 soft runners
a little bit of a stumble there as Azure comes through as well.
Right, yeah, and so now, oh, here comes J-Mick, though. He's coming back. J-Mick gets the position back.
Good defense there from J-Mick, able to hold the line. Yeah, Canadian already getting by 2 cars there somehow. Okay, never mind, because my telemetry is just going wild here, because Canadian dropped all the way down to 15th for a second, and then went back all the way to 5th.
He's in P4, and he's right on the back of Tito. Tito with 9-lap old hards. Oh, they're side by side.
Yeah, Canadian's going to try to make this move work again here. Yeah, underrated with the hard tires, not able to defend against that. Canadian on an absolute tear once again, just knifing his way through the field here. And he's on the back of the Haas, and he's probably about to make this move stick too.
Oh, he needs to be careful, but he's got so much more grip than Tito. Canadian does have a 5-second. Penalties are definitely going to come into the fold of things. Canadian's not gaining much. He didn't get that move done, which is pretty surprising. Oh, Canadian getting a little bit squirrely.
I was a little surprised about that too there.
Most underrated still, just right behind.
Okay, so I'm not sure what's happening here. I did see a blue flag mark on the side of the track there. I'm not sure which car it is though. I don't see any cars. Yeah, I don't see any cars up there that should be having that, but I did see the mark on the side of the track.
Oh, Tito picks up another. All right, that's his first 3-second penalty. So everybody except for Tails and Bio in the top 10, well, and J-Mick have a penalty, and TC unfortunately only picking up that penalty.
McLaren goes straight across the corner back there and gets back on track in front of a few cars there. But no damage done.
Oh, they're out goes the championship leader right again!
Back right in front of the McLaren!
Did they make contact?
And he's hitting the side!
Yes, they made contact.
Huge, severe collision with the McLaren there.
And somehow, TC is back ahead of the championship leader. After everything that has happened, this race has flipped on its head so many times. David's going to have to shoot into the pits. And I think he's just had an incident
into the pits already.
Oh my goodness.
Probably almost speeding, but he's gonna have significant side pod damage. He got hit from the side by Thunder.
And I missed
Thunder had to have been going close to 100 miles an hour, if not more, right to the side of him.
This has been turned. This race has been turned on its head. Oh my.
He literally sent I can't even think of David in the air,
Oh my
about
goodness.
15 feet sideways in the
Yeah,
air.
on that downhill part of that turn, you're going still so. Even though you've braked, you've broke already, you're still going so fast. You don't even realize how fast these cars are going because it's a game and you don't feel it. But
Yeah,
still,
exactly. You don't get the fear factor.
The game
TC
knows.
takes up a 3-second penalty. Oh no.
Oh, that's 6 seconds for him.
He's the most underrated, doing a phenomenal job right now. But he has bio right, and another McLaren goes around. It's
That's
J-Mick.
J-Mick. Oh, they're 3 wide. They're 3 wide right now. Gelfie, Tito, and Total Carney.
Looks like Tito's gonna
And
be.
they all have DRS.
Is Gelfie gonna make it too?
No, Gelfie did not have DRS, and he got absolutely swallowed there by both his teammate and Tito. But Tito dropping down the order just because he's on the oldest tires right now. He's unfortunately that safety car. He didn't choose to pit under that last safety car. Chose track position, and maybe not the best decision on a track like this, because it's really not as hard to overtake as a lot of people think. Unless you're in a DRS train, that does make things.
It looks like Gelfie is super close here, too, on the back of the Tito. It looks like he's trying to get by him and keep up with his teammate.
Yeah, TC needs to try to just go balls to the wall. There's a McLaren DNF.
Oh, but now he's under danger from Vapor here. Vapor got a huge run there. He's going to dip down to the outside here.
He's going to get this done.
Make this work.
He's still there.
Vapor might make this work here.
He's leaving the space, and he gets it done. But I think who's going to get the DRS?
Here.
Vapor gets the DRS. Okay. But
so he tries to
I think a little bit of naughtiness going on there, because I think Gelfie actually ended up having to tap the back of the Mercedes, but the Mercedes not getting the best entry, having to be on the inside. But he's on the soft tires, so just naturally going to have more grip.
Just taking a look left and right here to see if he can get by or not. But great racing right there, though.
Canadian only 6/10 back from Groovy. Groovy must know that he only needs to be within 2 seconds of Canadian, so he really does actually need to hold Canadian as long as he possibly can, but he's getting closer and closer, and we know how strong this DRS is here. They pushed it back this year, actually, so if we would have got this track last year, it probably would have been much more difficult to overtake, but when they went to Imola this year, they pushed those that DRS limit back. Groovy gets a little bit shaky out of the last corner.
Groovy getting a little squirrely here. I'm on board with Canadian here, and he's going to just move way to the side here. DRS is so strong.
Given all the space he can, he doesn't even need the toe. Yeah, Groovy going to try to fight it, but no real fight to be put up. He has to stay within this 2 seconds if he wants a chance at that P2. Tails 3 seconds up the road. I don't know if Canadian's going to be able to catch him. Bio also having a pretty solid race. No penalties as of now in P4, but he's right on the cusp of that 5-second gap that he would need to pass Canadian, actually. So, and believe it or not, he's near the gap of Canadian, but he's not near the gap of Groovy with only 3 seconds.
David is... Oh, and he just gets out of the way there. David is spun around, and he was on the track and just backed into the wall to avoid all the cars coming.
A race going from bad to worse. He's still sitting there, just waiting for everybody to go by.
I'm sure the car does not feel good to drive. No. I really wish you'd seen this impact. I'm surprised that the car, that Thunder and his car are still driving. I'm honestly shocked that they almost have a tank. Yeah.
He's not even able to make that last corner. I think he's been maxed. I don't see a barge board on the left. I think David's done. I think
he's taking a very unique racing line there.
I think he has had enough.
Yeah, decided to bring it into the pits.
And believe it or not, he's only in P11, but yeah, he's a full lap and some change behind Gelfie. So he wasn't going to catch Gelfie this race. He would have stayed out of the points. So Just a rough race for David, but obviously not the only one who's had a tough race. And here comes Gelfi on Vapor. He's going to get this move done. He's going for the cutback, but Mercedes doing well to keep the position. We've seen the Mercedes do quite a bit of defending today. But he does have that P9 spot. He wants to keep those points that he's got at the moment. And Groovy's already fell out of that 2-second gap. Maybe saving for the last couple of laps, but he is flashing, so I would think that, yeah, Groovy may be settling right now for this podium position, except that Canadian is just too fast right now on those soft tires.
Yeah, he's very rapid at the moment, and Gelfi is going to dip down to the outside. He's going to try to make the move stick, and a little bit of contact from him and the Mercedes.
Yeah,
they make it work, though. I
always kind of question, both the Alpines today have now made that move. Neither of them have DRS open again, but I always kind of question why people make that move there, because the DRS is so strong, and more than likely you would just get re-overtaken. But I think that right there was Not Vapor not realizing he had DRS, because surely one of them, again, should have had DRS.
Should have had it.
Yeah, the guy's kind of spreading out. The closest battle right now being Bio and Azure.
Yeah, they're getting pretty close, too.
The first race in this Williams, possibly pulling home a 3-4, which is a pretty solid points haul. But look at that. Bio has just made the pass
there
on Azure into the chicane, and you don't see an overtake into there too far.
Yeah, Azure definitely not putting up the stoutest defense.